Whether it's your baseball picks or your way too early football picks or your tennis picks, you got to pick them at Sports Interaction. Oh. That's right. It's Canada's sportsbook. Listen, before the game starts, live and play or how your favorite player will perform, doing it right since 1997, Sports Interaction is Canada's sportsbook with the most competitive odds. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all that sports betting has to offer. You head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. One more time, that's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly. Flames have re-signed Andrew Mangiapane to a 3-year deal and Oliver Kylington to a $5 million contract over 2 years. I mean, listen, great to avoid arbitration with both. Jesper Bratt also signed today, but we'll get to him in a second. The Flames are starting to kind of shore up what the Flames are now.
It looks like Andrew's eating that bread.
Because Mangiapane means bread in Italian. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what?
That's
Do we give it to him, Jesse? Or
no, not at all.
He's eating that bread.
It was bad. Everybody's made that joke a million times.
He's eating.
Welcome to the Calgary Flames Twitter account making bread jokes. I thought it was interesting how a lot of people are looking at the Mangiapane deal as a discount. Like Calgary got the better end of this deal, and that he should have been paid north of 6.57 million ish based on his production. I think for them, they got a good deal here. For a 26-year-old who's putting up probably 30 goals every season for the next couple of seasons. Not bad.
My surprise with it is that, because what are the rules on UFA? It's a certain amount of games or what age? What's the age?
I want to say 27.
27, because he's 26 now. And they got 3 years, which means that takes him all the way to 29.
I believe they got at least 2 UFA years.
You want me to read it to you?
Yes.
Players can qualify for UFA status if they are 25 years of age or older, or have accrued 3 or more professional seasons while signed to a standard player's contract, but have played less than 80 NHL games. So 25 is the age you're thinking about.
Okay.
It's kind of a late bloomer, a little bit.
He's only played 260 games in the NHL.
That's actually more than I thought.
Yeah. But I mean, like where he was a real factor, it's been the last 3 seasons. It's the COVID shortened season, it's the COVID season, and then the post COVID-ish season.
There's going to be a real interesting case of you know how we've talked about like pensions and stuff, and there's going to be cases where players are like, well, I should be a UFA right now, or I should qualify for the pension. It's just there literally weren't games. It's going to be interesting because for some players. Like let's say it's you have to hit 200 games for the pension. I forget the exact amount of games. There are going to be some players who miss it by a very small handful of games, and it's going to be kind of unfair.
Yeah,
and is it just too bad?
I think it probably is.
The NHL lawyers or the NHL PA lawyers, whoever's arguing, they sit there and say, too
tough
bad.
Shit.
Shrug my shoulders and say that was the world.
But like if I'm sitting at 195 and it's 200, give me a fucking break. The world stopped, man.
No.
For 2 years.
Everybody played under those circumstances.
Man,
those lawyers aren't giving you a fucking break.
Yeah, are you kidding? Come on now.
Anyway.
Pensions are a lot of money because we have to pay you forever.
How many goals did Mangiapane have?
So Mangiapane had 35 goals, and that 35 was a legit 35. Like that,
and healthy too.
That's his number, I think, going forward about in the range. He's going to put up 30 goals. $5.8 million for a 30 goal scorer is not too bad.
He had a stretch where he could not stop scoring. Could not stop scoring, and his role might even get elevated. Now, he didn't have the best playoff, but I think part of the reason a lot of the Flames' offensive numbers suck from the playoffs is literally just the Stars series. They couldn't score a goal, and then
10 total goals in the whole series.
I think they had like twice the amount of goals against Calgary, and they lost in 5. Like it was so
in game 1.
Yeah, they had an extremely they had more. Wasn't it? They had more goals in game 1 against the Oilers than they did the entire series against
something
like
that.
Stupid like that. Yeah, it was preposterous. Incredibly good player, incredibly useful. It's rare that you have a player who can score that efficiently for you and is that useful defensively for you. So to get him for 3 years, probably the best years of his prime, under 6, that's a really good deal for Brad Treliving. And one of the I guess the theme of the offseason for the Flames has been a difficulty retaining players. They weren't able to retain Gaudreau. They knew they weren't going to be able to retain Tkachuk. So they move them for two guys who they might not be able to retain. So the Flames, I think, have a window here of a couple years. And then that third year of Mangiapane's contract might be a discussion of, all right, is it time to rebuild or retool here?
Oh, no.
And then, but then imagine the windfall you get from Mangiapane.
Yeah, but let's not depress
come on
Flames
now.
fans. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, but okay, sorry. The takeaway there should be you're going to be fucking going for it, balls to the wall for the next
Flames
2 years
fans,
at
listen
least.
up. 2 years from now, you're trading this guy at the deadline, says Steve Dangle.
As a Leafs fan, zero sympathy. Matthew signed that contract is half a decade, and people are like, tick fucking talk.
What
like
you're
the second he signed
saying,
it.
what you're saying makes sense when you look at the other contracts.
Yes.
Because Lindholm's up in 2 years, like Toffoli's up in 2 years, Dylan Dubé's up in 2 years. There's going to be a lot of turnover with and who knows about the Huberdeau
Potentially.
contract?
Yeah.
Like, do they want to give Huberdeau the 8 years that his agent, Alan Walsh, is seeking?
Noted Alan Walsh client.
do the Flames want to give him that? So you're very right about, hey, this Flames roster could look really, really different in maybe a year or two.
And they got Kylington for 2.
Yeah, that was the other deal they did today.
In their business. So they have if you look at their contracts, they have a very clear window of, well, definitely this year.
Yep.
And probably next. Like you got to think it'd be relatively easy with the core that they have to convince guys to stay. Like, listen, just stick around for one more year.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you potentially make some really difficult decisions. But the good news is I think you got Huberdeau to worry about and Weegar. And then your other worry is winning the cup.
I'm just looking. This is a totally random, has nothing really to do with hockey. But the Flames have a obnoxiously strong left side, up front, and in the back.
Let me see.
So you've got Huberdeau, Mangiapane, and then I'm going to just say knuckle strength with Milan Lucic.
He's had a bit of a renaissance with the Flames.
And then on the left side of their defense, Hanifin, Weegar, and Kylington.
Their whole defense is ridiculous.
Yeah, they do have a great top six, but like that is, I'm like, if I have the opportunity to carry the puck up, I'm not going up their left side.
Attack the right.
Yeah. And the right's not that much better.
Mangiapane can play both sides.
Yeah, he does.
He can play both wings.
So do you think, because currently right now, like if I'm looking at daily face-off, which is like, who knows, right? It's August. Please don't come at me with, what you don't know. Nobody knows. Is it Huberdeau, Lindholm, Toffoli, or is it Huberdeau, Lindholm, Mangiapane? And I think with I was just thinking with Huberdeau's ability to set other people up, Mangiapane makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes.
Like he's all goals.
You're mapping out the first line.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Because like, listen, nothing against Backlund and Coleman, which were a great fit for Mangiapane, and maybe they go back to that. But if you have an all assists guy, with the passing stick on his hockey card,
yes,
like you would in NHL 2006, I would set him up with the target guy who is the sniper, because that was the target, wouldn't you? And then if I'm Lindholm, I'm going, this is fantastic.
The Huberdeau deal might have done wonders for Mangiapane's career.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he might be wishing that he didn't sign for the 3 years because, we know he's about to score a shitload this year. The Flames, I think, need to find... it'd be nice for them to find one more winger to take the defensive burden off of Mangiapane. He's too gifted of a goal scorer. One of the things I remember thinking watching the Flames Oilers series is, why am I seeing Mangiapane so seldomly?
Yeah.
However much he played in that series, it felt like he should have been playing more, and he was consistently a pretty good player for them. Visually, I thought. I don't know how the numbers shook out, but you got to let him fly. You got to let him fly. So if you think he's an effective shutdown guy for you, cool. You can use him in certain ways. I mean, it's nice to have a responsible player on your top line, but maybe put someone else in that shutdown role, eh?
Maybe.
What's going on with that Blake Coleman contract?
That's what it cost as an unrestricted free agent.
Coming off of a 2-time Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah, him and Barclay Goodrow.
I guess in the context.
Like, you look at the Barclay Goodrow contract, the Blake Coleman contract doesn't seem so bad.
What's the combined cap hit of Tampa's third line from their second cup? Because that was Blake Coleman.
Other teams.
Blake
Coleman
Coleman
at like 1.1 or something dumb.
No. What's their cap hit now?
He means
now.
now where they've
Coleman?
signed to other teams.
Barclay Goodrow, Yanni Gord. I know Gord makes over 5. So we'll start right there. Over 5. It's over $10 million, that third line. You know, and that's, I don't know, weird that they won back-to-back cups.
Yeah, I'll tell you in half a second.
You don't have to answer the question. I know it's over 10.
Let's do it.
We're finding
If we're going to fucking do it, let's fucking do it.
All right. Also, when we talk about the Flames, just while you're looking that up, Jesse, have we made enough of the fact that not only like Calgary got Huberdeau and Weegar?
Mm-hmm.
People realize how good Weegar is, right?
Oh, Flames fans know. They know. They know that.
Like,
listen,
I'm happy he's not in the division anymore. I'm happy Huberdeau's not here too.
Yeah.
Not that Kachuk's great.
No, that sucks.
Not that we're thrilled about that,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying?
Remember how we were like, well, maybe trade Muzzin, and now we're like, maybe don't.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Oh man, those two head-to-head's going to be great. Jesse, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Blake Coleman makes $4.9 million
do you need
a year until 2027.
It's a long time.
Barclay Goodrow makes 3.641667
Okay.
until 2027. And Yanni Gord makes 5.166666 until 2025.
I don't know how many sixes that was. 13.7 million.
$13 million for a third line.
Wins you 2
Yo,
cups.
I didn't realize this. Goudreau and Coleman had the same amount of points last year.
The exact same amount of
33,
points?
both of them at 30. I was just looking it up.
Hilarious.
Almost the same
Oh,
amount.
not Johnny.
No, Goudreau. Barclay Goudreau.
not quite,
Barclay
no.
Goudreau. Yeah, not Johnny. If anybody was mixed, I've been talking about Barclay Goudreau the whole time, not the Johnny Gaudreau contract.
And I think they'll be able to do a little bit of work in free agency as well.
With the Flames?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still?
Well, and
I don't
There's
know.
so many names.
And also,
There's
like,
so many
even
guys.
if Huberdeau gets a raise, which he's going to, you already have Huberdeau's raise on the roster, and that's Milan Lucic.
Mhm.
So if he goes, like, let's say Huberdeau is a $10 million player next year, just for argument's sake, it's a round number. He makes 5.9 now. 4 of Milan Lucic's 6 goes to that, and you had 2 million to just whatever with. You know, maybe that goes towards Uyghur's contract, the other 2 million. But you've got the money to keep these guys.
Here's what I'm thinking with free agency. So Dylan Strome wasn't qualified by the Blackhawks, but he still ended up signing, I believe it was for $3.5 million. The longer this summer goes, I don't know if that amount of money is out there for like a Sonny Milano. So at what point do you start to consider, all right, let's sign like a league min deal somewhere, put up 50, 60 points, and cash in next summer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would I think you could do worse than being a league min player for the Calgary Flames is what I'm saying.
One thing we haven't had an update on is Sean Monahan,
Yes.
who had season-ending hip surgery last season, and the previous year had hip surgery. So it's back-to-back seasons he had hip surgery, and I don't know what his status is for next year.
Your hips are very important. I mean, we've seen what it's done to Jamie Benn's career. We've seen what it's done to Tyler Seguin's career. You can bounce back, but it takes a long time.
All right, and that's $6.375 million
Yeah.
in terms
lot of
the
money.
cap, you know, and they're a good player and a good center you could probably use on your roster.
Yeah, the Flames would be better if he was healthy.
Yes, 100%.